What's up, guys? In today's video, we're going to do a Hearts of Iron 4 tutorial. We're going to get started with the Netherlands, and we're going to take on a couple different achievements. Check out the video. Let me know what you think. We're going to be looking at putting the raid on the Medway to shame. We're going to be doing a Netherlands run. We're going to be trying to unite the Netherlands, and we're going to try and do this on the No Step Back new DLC that just dropped last week. We're going to go in here regular, Iron Man mode on for those sweet, sweet achievements. We're going to be doing historical AI focuses. Without further ado, let's get her started. Let's talk about strategy here. First, we're going to talk research. We're going to the research. You're going to do our typical two steps: electrical, mechanical, electronic, mechanical engineering. We're also going to go for our basic machine tools because we want the basic machine tools to go to help us. And instead of going for construction, which is normally the move, we're going to go in here. We're going to get our Fokker T4As, research those. It's going to cost us 190 research days, but we want those, and we want those ASAP. All right, so that's where our initial research is going to go. For construction, now this is a different move. I've seen many people do different things here. I'm going to start by just building civilian factories. I don't care. Civilian factories in Brant and Friesland. Max those out. We'll add more things in later. Let's talk about production. All right, so what I like to do here is I'm immediately going to go in and we're going to do our infantry equipment. But we're also going to add in our fighters. Fighters are important because you are going to need those to kind of bottleneck the Royal Air Force in the channel here. You're also going to need it for when you eventually go to war over here. It's nice to have the air support over Brussels and Luxembourg. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to go in here and we're going to do artillery, which is normal. And we're going to do anti-air. Then we're going to add trains. Trains will get in there next. We're going to move this down here, though. And then we will add in support equipment. So I generally don't use a lot of support equipment with the strategy that I've been using, but it's nice to have in the long run. Now let's talk about Navy. Make sure you have all of your ports able to repair your Navy. But we're going to go in here. We're going to go convoys, make 100 of those bad boys. Not even going to make, we're never going to reach the 100. Like, you just make them just fun for no reason. That's really what I think. You're going to be pumping out these submarine K-14 classes. They're going to go on auto. And as you get more docks, you'll be able to get better. You'll be pumping these things out like crazy. All right, for focuses, we're going to do the same old normal thing that you want to do when you're flipping from one ideology to the other. We're going to beeline for the brown coats. Okay, we need to join Mr. Angry Mustache Man in his power struggle for the world. So we're immediately going to go for form new government. We'll start that. In terms of focuses, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go form new government, gateway to Europe. While we wait for cave to the Germans, we're going to do abandon the gold standard. If that gets done before this, if there's still quite a bit of time, then we're going to go military over or budget cuts. Then by then we should be able to start going for cave to the Germans. Then Volk and Vaderland. While that takes its time doing its thing, we're going to go for prepare the inundation lines, basically using really big moats in the Netherlands. If that is not done, we'll go over here. We'll get prepare naval expansion. Then we should be able to start strength over blood. If not, we want to focus this tree. This naval tree is going to be important for us putting the raid on the Medway to shame. So we're going to focus on that for sure. Cornerstone of Colonial defense. Rely on the submarines, and that's basically where you want to stop. I always go for this. It's a 35-day focus. It's super nice because it gives you a fuel silo, which means you can get more fuel. And since you're basically stealing it all from the West Indies, you're going to need it. You're going to need another silo. After you get that done and you've basically started going this way, you go strength over to blood, the Netherlands first. By then you should be done with the war on pacifism. If you didn't get these two done, you definitely need this. War on pacifism is very important because you want to go over here and you want to unite the Netherlands. You want to go for Luxembourg and Belgium. By then you should have enough points and you should be able to start implementing the program. We'll go over that once we get to that point. And then you'll eventually want to go this way, grab these, And then you just kind of do whatever you want at that point. Like, that's the main thing, is getting War on Pacifism, Unite the Netherlands, and the naval tree here. Now let's talk about the army. I am still using the one army trick. We have one guy down there. He starts training. The rest of these boys, see you later. Let's do the Navy real quick, because this is important too. We're going to bring the fleet that's down here in the West Indies. We're going to bring them up to the mainland. We're going to bring this guy up here. Actually, you know what? We're going to bring these guys down here. What I like to do is I like to run 10s. You're going to have lots of submarines. You're going to be pumping them out like crazy. What you're going to do is you're going to put these, drop these into 10s, and then you're going to have them repair, or you're going to have them train, because we're going to need lots and lots and lots of naval experience. You can add generals now. I don't really think they matter that much. Make sure you do Conrad Helfrich for the subs, and then I always go Johannes Theodorus for our support other fleet that we have here. These guys are going to be used mainly for supporting our naval invasion of England. If you want to do it now, you can. Otherwise, just don't forget about them. I'm going to move these planes over here. Immediately put them on air superiority and interception, because with trains, you don't want them being bombed. Put that on 100. That means that these planes that we're building over here will immediately start filling up that area for decisions. Now, I am really, I hate seeing these things up here. So what I like to do is I go in here and I find the ones that I actually need. Turn all these off. I don't need any of them. Literally do not need any of them right now. I'm going to leave this one on because it's going to remind me when I'm finally done with this. So that's really the only ones I have on right now. Placate the Germans and repudiate. I don't know. We're going to basically throw out the Treaty of London. We're going to take the Netherlands back. It's ours. Can't have it. Pop this bad boy up to speed 5, and we will see you once we're done forming a new government. Actually, while we wait, we can go ahead and we can do our army group here. We're going to go ahead and get the Field Marshal Isaac Reiters. Put him as our Field Marshal. We'll go ahead and get our army strategist, Gottfried. You know, you could actually use this guy as your main general, because he's got brilliant strategists. I never do. I'm lazy. I don't really care. All right, so new government is formed. Let's hope it's more stable. Oh, our new guy sucks. Surrender limit is increased, and our war support is also 10% lower. But our weak government's gone, which grants daily political power cost of plus 50, stability of -10. That's fine. So we formed a new government. Let's go ahead and go in here. We'll just start being the gateway to Europe. Start focusing on that. Your electrical engineering is done. Let's go in here. Go ahead and go in and start getting mechanical computing. All right, so like we talked about here, gateway to Europe is done. We're going to start caving to the Germans, but while we do that, let's abandon the gold standard. Who needs that thing? Let's get some build speed in this business, right? All right, placate the Germans. You're going to want to hold on to your political power. Don't go buying advisors. Don't do it. I know you want to. I want to. But hold on to that political power, because we got a lot to spend on this playthrough. Basic machine tools is done. Go back here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go straight for concentrated industry. I really need that. Really need it in my life right now. All right, our Fokker 4As are done. We're going to start on the Fokker all 21s. That way we have our new fighter planes coming out. All right, so we're not going to worry about this. They're at 25, and they're at least 15 ahead of them, so we're just going to go ahead and wait. We're going to wait a few more days, quite a few more days, actually. Oh, one thing I always forget to talk about. Ooh, abandon the gold standard done. One thing I forget to do, I always do this, and it's going to slow us down a little bit, but we're going to create agency. I think these are super important. The Bureau Intelligence. I'm not even trying to present that. All right, go over here. Start cave to the Germans. 35 days. Should be done ASAP. So we just reached 15 army experience. We need, I think it's 20 to do what I want to do. Go in here. Dutch East Indies. Copy. Right now, it won't let me keep these divisions because they have the same name, so we have to change the stinking name. Indies. These are the Indies divisions. What I've been doing, and it's been working pretty well offensively, is 9 twos, 24 width. I think it's pretty good. We'll save that. We'll use those guys. We'll eventually add our AA guns and our support artillery and other things that we research. Our intelligence bureau is done. Things we need to do now. We're going to slow ourselves down even more because we're going to go in here and we're going to get the naval department. We need that Navy intelligence. Boom, done. We had no choice. We had no choice. Vulcan Vaderland. Let's get a spy. Let's see here. Who's our spy? Naval department. Yay. I guess we'll get Johan. He's fine. We're going to use this guy basically to just keep people out of our country. You can use him eventually to get diplomatic pressure on Germany, Italy, whoever you want when you go to war with Belgium and Luxembourg, because you really want them to give you guns. Once you flip to brown coat, you want to get guns from these guys. You need it bad. All right, so we have our first 100 doctrine, first 100 points in our naval experience. Let's go ahead and we'll get trade interdiction going. Vulcan Vaderland is done. Hurrah! We'll go in here. So now we can't continue down to strength over blood. We're gonna go to military budget cuts. Need those. So before we unpause, make sure you go in here, you grab your fascist demagogue, flip over here. And we're not gonna do a civil war because that takes a lot. We're gonna open up political discourse. That's gonna be the easiest method for us to flip to the browncoats, because democracy is already waning. Communism's not really doing much. So we'll go ahead and start flipping. This is where all that political power we were having earlier is going to be useful. Boom. We've got 2 research slots opened up. Plus, we can now do political discourse. So do that. Spending basically 100 to expand your civil support right away. Do my construction. It's November, 176 days. Let's go ahead and start getting our materials. Alright, we got our Fokker 11s or 21s. We can start looking at other things. It's 1937, so we're not going to worry too much about that. We can go ahead and start getting this. We want to up these as soon as possible. I'm going to go ahead and start getting more of these guys. I really think these are important, especially for our submarine fleet we're going to be churning out. We also want to make sure that we have our bombers out. We've got 3 bombers available. Chalk those up to 100. I like the 100 limit. I saw that on a Bitter Steel video. Thought it was really good. I think it's a good way to keep track of your stuff here. Overturn the military budget cuts are done. Let's go. We're going to go prepare the inundation lines, even though we won't be able to do either of these just yet. We want to get ready for when the world tension goes up. You need to get 10%. We need 10% for protect against Britain, and we need another we need it to be 15% for war on pacifism. We need our brown coat friends to get to 50% for us to do a reform, which costs us about 100 political power. So I basically watching a pot boil. I'm just sitting here waiting. Yay, Britain and France are homies. We're not quite there, so let's go ahead and we'll jump down and we'll prepare the naval expansion. Improved machine tools are done. Yay. Alright, we can start looking at other things here. We'll get our support weapons. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this because we're going to be dropping artillery pretty quickly. Alright, we have enough to add our artillery, support artillery. Save that, and now we're going to start churning these guys out. One time. These guys are muy importante. We're going to have them drop into Holland. They're going to join Army number 1. And I need 71 of these guys. And then you are going to want to pop these guys out as soon as possible. Rather than the communists, 10% change and increase to these guys. So we are going to be at 46%, which means we are going to need another 4% in order to get us to brown coat status. Construction's done. Let's go ahead and we'll go over here. Let's start getting our engineers. Need those guys. Need them. Drop those guys down. They can start training. This is where it gets kind of slow. You're not going to have a lot of equipment, so you're going to be slowly churning out troops. One thing you can do, come down here and get your puppet request forces. Grab all 7 of those guys. Add all 7 of them to your army. That puts you at 15. That means you don't have to train as many. We're just about there. I'm going to let it tick over to 50% because I don't want to only... Oh, there we go. Look, free 5%. Go in here, boom. Don't even got to worry. Old national referendum. Boom! Look at us. We're a different color brown now. Ooh. All right, let's go in here. Start Strength Over Blood. Immediately start that. We also have another 100 naval experience. Let's go ahead and get in here and get Convoy Interdiction. And so now, while we're chilling, while we do Strength Over Blood, I'll show you guys what I do strategy-wise for our... So our eventual blockade of the Atlantic is going to happen here. You're going to want to go through from the Denmark Strait all the way down to Cape Verde Plain, because the English will be sending ships, the English and the French will be sending ships like crazy through here. They'll eventually stop and start going through these areas, and you'll want to lock those down once you start seeing less stars over here. But you want your submarines focused in this area here, and then you're going to have these guys. They're eventually going to go North Sea, Eastern North Sea, and they will be doing naval invasions. While I'm thinking about it, I want to pull... We're just going to set up a few quick naval invasions while we wait. But first, let's go in here and do this. I want to increase my extraction. Okay. So while these guys are training, we're just going to do a quick boom. And then I like to do from Hull to Newcastle. While we're waiting, let's talk about the traits that you want for your Conrad Helfrich. I go Silent Hunter because I don't want my torpedoes to be seen. And I also go Concealment right off the rip. I don't have enough points right now, but Concealment, and you'll eventually want to do Loading Drill Master. You want those fast torpedoes, and you don't want your ships to be seen. Interwar Artillery's done. Woohoo! So we'll go ahead and we're going to do trucks because we're going to need those for supply. Gotta make sure you're building trucks. As many of those as I can get. Strength Over Blood is done. The red man, the mustache man, immediately wants us to join him. And now you do not want to join him. Okay? Before you do anything else, you need to come over here and protect against Britain. Alright, protect against the British is done. That's great, because we needed that to be done. It's really important for us to have those coastal forts, because the British love to naval invade. Alright, do the Netherlands first. Our engineers are done. Woohoo! It's 1937. Come here and check on these guys. I'm going to start getting construction too. That's good. Okay, so we're at 18%. We're also going to ask Germany to join their faction. Doesn't matter because we can create our own if we really wanted to. But what we want is we want enough world tension for the war on pacifism. There. Excavation's done. Really important because we are constantly searching for freaking minerals or whatever it is that we get out of this, resources. Now this is a part where you can kind of play with it however your playstyle normally goes. I normally don't. I wait until I have my bonuses to start researching this stuff. I want to hold on to my naval experience right now. I'll use it on these later. We've got the planes that we're gonna need for now. It's not worth trying to spend 500 days trying to get these planes ahead of time. Not 1938 yet. I don't really want that. So I'm going to actually come in here and do synthetical oil experiments. Don't forget to upgrade your generals, your field marshals, that is. I always go offensive doctrine and organization first. Yay, we have trucks. We got to start building those trucks, man. We're going to need them when we get to Europe or to England. War on Pacifism is done. Perfecto. And right at the same time as Auschwitz. That's perfect. Perfect. All right, we're not going to do the program yet because we were going to use all our political power on the war on pacifism. So you can either do this one, which is nice, gets you extra war support, more fascism, which we don't really need, and it gets you more population and training time, which is kind of good. But I really want a fuel silo or naval doctrines. We're going to do naval doctrines actually, because that'll give us a 50% off, so we can get them for 50, and that's good because we're getting quite a bit right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Make sure you go in here. I like anti-pacifist propaganda because it feels like it gets it done quicker. It eats a ton of political power, but at this point you don't really need it except for anti-pacifist propaganda. So just keep turning that away. Go in here. We're going to start getting rely on submarines. Go ahead and spend this 50% off. Boom. Nice. Nailed it. So we'll get this one for 50% off, this for 50% off, and this. And then eventually have combined operations rating later on. Rely on submarines is done. Yay. I want to so bad. All right. So now we can actually go in here. We can choose to continue the public works, which is good. We like that. But first, I want my fuel silo. 35 days. One thing you don't want to do is you don't want to bring Germany into your war with Belgium or Luxembourg. You just want the guns from them. Because if you invite them into the war with you, guess what? They're going to sack them so freaking quick, and you're going to lose all of that war goal, and you're not going to be able to get, what you want. Once you take Belgium, you'll get quite a bit of guns, and you'll start being able to put out troops quickly. Which will be nice. Alright, now we'll continue the public works. That'll help us get more economy-based items later on. Go back in here. Do this. Alright, finish the Nuderspoodler. The Nordustspolder. Alright, immediately start on this because we want to... Oh, 1938. Oof. December 25th. It's Christmas 1938. Well, hopefully Germany doesn't go a little crazy early. They normally don't, but let's just see where we go. Alright, there we go. Pause. Before the English can do anything, we're going to declare our war. Call. Declare war. What we're going to do is we're going to pop you guys here. Just in case. We don't want them getting any convoys. We're also going to pull some of our fighters over here into this area here. We want the air support. We don't have any CAS. Need you guys to stop and be ready to start going. Alright, well, here goes nothing. We're going to leave it on 5 speed just because we want to see if this goes over as quick as possible. Germany immediately going to send us some stuff. Appreciate that, Germany. See if we can get anything from these guys. Nope, they don't want to give us anything just yet. It's fine. It's fine. Stuff from Germany should be enough. So with the supply routes, what you're going to want to do is I'll drop this down to 3 speed so you can kind of get an idea. So there's our supply lines. These are theirs. So what we're going to do is as soon as we can, we're going to push in and try and take Brussels. That's our capital, which means that they are going to lose quite a bit of supply if we can get in there fast enough. I gotta stop pausing it. I'm so used to pausing it when I play by myself. There goes Brussels. There they go. Instantly, boom. Look at all that free stuff. Thank you so much. I'm just gonna take all the states. And then... take all the states. Let's reset. So we'll puppet these guys. And then take these. Oh, snap. Okay. Pass. That's just a try. Satellite, satellite, satellite. Take all space. There. Now we have bonus troops.
Ja, commandant.
Luxembourg's like, quick, run in there and grab everything. And we're like, probably don't want to do that. Because look at this. We're about to start dropping troops like crazy on them. Yeah, they're already falling back. So this will, by winning this war, Look at that, boom. Got some trains, 52 trains. More guns, some other stuff. Great news. Luxembourg, take all states, boom, and turn. There you go. That is your achievement. That is your achievement right there for Unite the Netherlands. So we did that. Go ahead and go in here. Repudiate the Treaty of London. New fancy orange color there. Now the rest of the army will go here. But we don't want to go that far into France. Holy cow. The Germans are going to stay on the Maginot. We're going to come up here. So we're back. It's July 15th, 1939. I lost most of my footage, so I had to start over. This is where we're at. World War II is about to pop off. All right. Poland has officially refused Germany. So here we go. There goes Poland and Germany. France is now in the mix. Any second now, we'll get a call to arms ourselves. Poland joins the Allies. There it is. We join the fray. Already looks like we're going to have trouble. Naval supremacy is not high enough yet in England. Let's see if we can get anything from the Germans here. Germans, can we have some bombers? What about guns? Towed anti-air, regular guns. Artillery? Yes, let's go. Thanks, Germany. Our soldiers look like they're making headway into France now, which is good. I end up playing in the new supply mode just because I like to be able to see where the supplies are because I want to cut them off. There we go. Before Poland and Paris, France, Poland hadn't even fallen yet before France had capitulated. And it looks like it capitulated to us, which is even better. So that was the fastest I've ever seen that happen. October 39, France is already gone. Poland isn't even done yet. They just lost Warsaw and haven't capitulated. So England is kind of just chilling on its own over there. And look at that. Right after we pushed off that invasion, our own little invasion is taking off now. So we got to get these guys ready. We're going to delete this because as soon as they make landfall here, we're going to push across the channel. We're going to make those boys absolutely dominate. The key, I think, to the new expansion is that you really, really, really have to focus on the supply lines. So when I pushed into France, you can see me highlighting the territory nodes. And that's really what you want to push up on. So like I said, I like to play in this map mode because then when I highlight over the enemy territory, I can see their supply lines. If I cut the ones at whole here, nobody else on this side is going to be... Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter. We just need to take that node. There we go. All right, so we secured that beachhead. Now we bring the entirety of the army over. Oh, they're about to... Okay, so this is the thing about the new DLC, is that every time you start attacking a port and their organization gets really low like that, they immediately start retreating, and it's glorious. Once we take Newcastle, we'll be connected. Look at that. We just cut off the entire lower half of the country from the upper half. All right, so now we have to focus on Bristol all the way up here to Norwich. Send that army there. The rest of the army needs to come up here and go past the Scottish Highlands up to the port at Scapa Flow. Yeah, we're just pushing. It doesn't look like there's anyone in Manchester or Leeds. So if we switch here, look at our supply chain now. Newcastle we just took back. Circle Liverpool, that'll give us a huge advantage in terms of supply chain management. That's what this game is now. It's supply chain management simulator. So really, since we're at this point of the game, like, you're basically, as long as you can take them out, you're gonna win. You're gonna get the achievement, because all you need to do is stop England. So between you and Germany and Italy and whoever else gets involved, you can just prevent England from existing. You'll be good. This is pretty much wrapped up. Like I said, once you get this far into England, and with the if you start to understand the supply lines, it gets pretty easy.
Great, Commandant.
Once, so we've got a bottleneck here. Is that what that is? You really just want to make sure you focus on capturing the enemy supply lines, which is similar to how we played this before No Step Back came out.
Geef acht!
We still might be able to do this before 1940. We've got a few days left. Let's see here. The United States never gets to enter the war. The Danish control all of France and all of England right now. Just pushing it. I'm not even micromanaging. Like, this is just straight. Like, I micromanaged the beginning of the war when we were straight up fighting for supply lines, but now we've just absolutely smothered the British down into this little corner here towards Dover and Portsmouth. So supply lines doing fine. Some hard to reach areas up here, but that's totally fine. Yeah. Germany's capitulated Denmark. It's Christmas Day right now. Let's see, can we do it?
Gereed om uit te rukken.
Pushing to London. Oh, there goes London. London has fallen. There it is. That's it, guys. So now, basically, all you have to do, Germany is going to take their first turn because they literally did everything. And you just want to make sure that you grab as much of England as you can to make sure that they don't exist. That's really all it is. Now you look at the map. England is, or the United Kingdom is completely gone. You own part of England. You own this part of Canada. That beautiful, beautiful area of Africa belongs to you now. This little island over here. Lots of little islands out throughout here. So, all right. So that is how I did putting the raid on the Medway to shame and uniting the Netherlands post No Step Back. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a comment, let me know what you liked, and if there's a suggestion for another achievement video you'd like to see. If you didn't like the video, please let me know in the comments what I can improve on. I really love strategy games and I'd like to do more content on them. As always, thank you for spending this moment with Alex. I'll catch you next time. Have a good one.